Let's talk more camp battles. This time, a little tight end. Back to the Onebar Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and camp battles continues. We're trekking through this whole damn roster. We got tight ends up, and I got to tell you, we got a pretty damn good group.
We do have a great group of tight ends, not just on the Vikings, but also here at the Onebar Lupagus show. Real couple of tight ends. Before we hop into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and become a YouTube member if you have not yet done so. We're back from we had a 3-day hiatus here, but we are back, ready to get back into this Vikings talk and these camp battles.
Yeah, we had a new member over the weekend. That's Mr. Bill Koski.
Oh, wow. Well done, Bill.
Yes, greatly appreciate it. Go hit up that join button. Do it. Tight ends. Let's do it. Like I said, last year we kept 3 tight ends. Tight ends. I got to be honest. It was Irv Smith, Johnny Munt, and Ben Ellison. That's who our 3 tight ends were. And at the time, we were probably very excited about it.
Well, we still had hope for Irv Smith Jr. that he could stay healthy, that he could finally produce consistently. That didn't happen. Week 2, that horrible drop against the Eagles kind of just cemented his fate with the Vikings. And then, a couple weeks later, Vikings go and trade for TJ Hawkinson, and life gets way better.
Yeah, so I think the optimism for this year should be legit. Next year at this time, we should look back and be like, wow, we were right. Because this is beautiful. We got Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, the newcomer, Johnny Munt, Nick Muse, and Ben Sims.
Yeah, so let's talk at the top. Let's talk TJ Hawkinson. I saw some stat where after I can't remember, week 8 or 9, he was like the most targeted players.
Awesome.
Yeah, so him and Kirk Cousins didn't waste any time getting to know each other, getting comfortable with each other. It was almost week 1. Kirk was just feeding him the ball constantly, and that never really ended. So the only question I have for you regarding TJ Hawkinson, do you think Mr. Oliver, Josh Oliver, will cut into any of his targets?
I don't know. That's a tough question. I'm sure he will. Hawkinson had a career year last year. He had 86 receptions, 914 yards, 6 touchdowns, 10 games with the Vikings, 60 receptions. He played his dick off. His dick was on the ground. He was playing so damn good. And I think he's going to top these numbers. I'm expecting 1,000 yards from Hawkinson. If you're a tight end, this is the team you want to come play for. You are going to rip it up. Hawkinson, what a trade. Boom. If they were to give a first rounder for him, I'd be fine with it. He's good.
He's still so young, and we're going to get him long term here. I expect that to happen. I think it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. TJ Hawkinson extension. We'll hear all about that. Make him a Viking for life. Hell yes. So Hawkinson, I think we all know what we got there. Sure-handed receiver, one of the favorite targets of Kirk Cousins. A guy maybe when Justin Jefferson's getting covered, you can go and turn to, rely on, move the chains, make big plays. But Josh Oliver, what should we expect from our new guy? The new guy here that we had to have. We signed like the first second we could legally tamper.
Yeah, and I didn't really answer your question because I was getting to so Josh Oliver, his career year was last year, and he had 14 receptions. So I expect him to damn near, I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to say he might even double it. So just with so many good players on the team, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, guys like Josh Oliver, whether it's KJ Osborne, Addison, somebody's going to be left to scoop up these just wide-ass open balls because it's going to happen. I think Oliver is going to see a chunk his way. 25 receptions.
And I'm curious how loud that's going to be in the red zone. Well, he's going to be a guy who only has 15 catches, but 6 of them are touchdowns because everybody else is focused on Hawkinson, Jefferson, Addison, Osborne, and then even Madison back there. And also, you said wide open. I think Josh Oliver might get a lot of wide open looks.
Guys, throw me the ball.
They're going to forget about him. Defenses will forget about him. They have to.
He's a good blocker. We didn't mention that about Hawkinson. We don't even have to, but very good blockers up top, the top of this depth chart. So, Josh Oliver, very underrated as far as I don't think he just had the chance in Baltimore to really be that pass catcher. He was just more asked to do the dirty stuff.
They rostered 26 tight ends in Baltimore. So, it's.
Yeah, so 14 receptions last year for Baltimore. Put him on a different team, that equates to about 73 receptions.
Yeah. Absolutely, it does. So let's talk. I think now we're getting to the point. There's no question. Oliver, Hawkinson. Hawkinson's 1, Oliver's 2. No debate there. Doesn't matter what happens in camp. That's not going to change. Now, this is what's going to happen in camp. Who's number 3? Who's the third guy kept? Will it be Johnny Munt, who is also coming off a career receiving year? Or is it going to be
Hey-o.
Nick Muse, the young buck, who we all know that famous photo of that surfaced on Twitter that we cannot quit looking at?
Yeah, and I expect him. I think they're going to end up keeping 3 again. I mean, I
Mm.
think you're probably on the same page. I mean, if we're going to keep like 5 running backs, however, I mean, I think the numbers are just not going to work out. So when you look at this, it's going to be Munt, Muse. I mean, we'll talk Sims, but yeah, it's going to get very interesting here because I think it's honestly a toss up. We're going to find
Yeah.
out how loyal Kevin O'Connell is to some of these guys he brought over because Munt was one of his guys, and he might want to stick around. He might love him more than anything in the world.
Well, and Nick Muse is also one of their guys drafted in the regime where he was here. So it's his first draft, last pick of his first draft, going against one of his first free agent signings, a guy he was familiar with in LA with the Rams. Yeah, maybe just best man win. Here's the thing though. I mean, if Munt makes it, Muse is probably gonna be on the practice squad. If Muse makes it, Munt might just be Gonzo.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the GM right now, which one do you want?
I'm gonna stick with the veteran. I'm sticking with Johnny freaking Munt.
I mean, we got 2 veterans. I'm going Muse. It's he's his billing coming out of college. He's got athletic ability. He's got good size. Why not see some of that? I mean, Johnny Munt, love us some Johnny Munt, but I don't know. I
Johnny
want to see
freaking
some.
Munt.
If we had 2 youngsters up top, I'm all for Johnny Munt. And I think that was a big part of Johnny Munt's role last year. Hopefully, maybe get Irv to light a fire up his ass, Ben Ellison, light whatever. But we got the 2 rock stars. Let's see what we got for a youngster.
And I think this is going to be so close to. I mean, I'm not going to have any idea who's going to win this thing. We maybe second week of preseason week 2, when after 2 games are in, you can maybe get an idea who's in front of this thing. But this is going to be a tight race, and this is one that's going to be fun to watch as camp unfolds.
Yeah, I want to see Nick Muse out there in preseason, see what he's got shaking, see if he can back up that sexy ass picture he put out there. You put something out like that, you better be a damn good tight end.
Yeah, you should be. You have to be.
Well, let's talk Ben Sims. We have to. The undrafted free agent from Baylor. He just seems like a blue collar. I mean, just basically does whatever you ask him. Decent blocker. He's not going to wow you with really anything. I mean, it sounds like Baylor pretty much asked him to block the whole time.
Yeah, I also think he can. I mean, he can catch too. So I mean, I don't think he's great in any area, but he's solid. It's a 2-man race for tight end 3. I'm going to say Ben Sims is still like this really random wild card. If he also just shocks the world, he's got a chance. But I think he's destined for the practice squad.
You're saying he might have a chance to make the 53?
Well,
I'm gonna let you try to correct yourself.
Super minute. I mean, it's not like he's got a huge obstacle in Johnny Munt and Nick Muse to overcome. So I'm not going to write him off. But yeah, it's
Legend
very unlikely.
Johnny Munt.
Very unlikely, but a sliver.
A sliver. And again, what he's got going for him are the fact that we're so top heavy and they're vets. So maybe a guy like him sneaks in. If he does, I'll come on here butt naked. I'll be so shocked that Ben Sims makes the squad. But practice squad, hell of a practice squad are we got there.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on the practice squad.
All right, I'd talk about potential surprises, but I don't know if there would really be any shocking surprises unless like a Ben Sims makes it.
He's the only one who could be a surprise. If somehow he just shocks the world, pulls a Ryan Wright, and becomes this one player no one thinks is going to make the team and does. But yeah, I mean, if Munt beats Muse, that's not a surprise. If Muse beats Munt for 3, if Muse jumps to number 2, that would be a surprise.
That would be horrible. That would be a bad surprise. We don't want that to happen. I think one surprise is if they actually kept 4. That'd be a surprise. I don't want them to keep 4, but that would be a surprise.
I don't think they will, but it would be shocking.
All right, let us know. What are you thinking about these tight ends? How do you think it's going to shake out? Hit that join, hit that subscribe. We're still trying to get to 10,000 subs, so do it.
All right, this next fact I'm going to drop. I feel a little bit like Robert Stack here, so I hope you don't lose any sleep over this. But at least 7 taxi drivers in Northeast Japan have reported picking up the ghost of a person who died in the 2011 earthquake and tsunami.
Oh